The crowd roared, but it wasn't admiration, it was mockery. In the center of the ring stood a towering champion, muscles glistening under the harsh lights, smirking as he pointed toward a small, trembling black girl. He wanted to prove a point, that some people didn't belong in his world. Cameras flashed, laughter echoed, and the air thickened with cruelty. But none of them knew that within minutes, this arrogant boxer's career, pride, and reputation would be shattered by the very person he sought to humiliate. Marcus the Titan Harlow had built his fame on arrogance. A heavyweight champion with an ego larger than the arenas he filled, he was adored by fans who mistook his confidence for greatness. But behind the gold belts and the glamour was a man addicted to dominance, not just in the ring, but in every corner of life. He loved to belittle, to remind others of their place. When a community youth program invited him to mentor young fighters for charity, he saw it as a chance to flaunt his power, not give back. That's where he met Amina, a 15-year-old girl from the city's south side. Slim, quiet, and composed, she came from a neighborhood Marcus often mocked in interviews. She wasn't supposed to be there, he thought. She was supposed to watch, not fight, but Amina had fire. Trained by her late father, she carried discipline, speed, and something Marcus never understood, purpose. When she stepped into the ring for a simple demonstration, the crowd noticed her sharp movements and calm control. Marcus did too, but instead of pride, he felt insulted. The idea that a young black girl could share his stage burned his pride like acid. So he decided to teach her a lesson. He called her out publicly, turning what should have been a friendly event into a cool spectacle. Cameras rolled, the audience buzzed, and Amina, facing the champion she once admired, tightened her gloves. She didn't know she was walking into humiliation. Marcus didn't know he was walking into history. The bell rang, and the tension in the gym felt like a storm ready to break. The crowd, mostly Marcus's fans, cheered with a kind of energy that thrives on dominance. They didn't come to watch a match. They came to watch a mockery. Marcus circled her with a grin, throwing light jabs, pretending to go easy. Every move was exaggerated, every smirk calculated to remind her of where she stood. The cameras caught everything, the power imbalance, the jeers, the smothering arrogance. Amina didn't retaliate. She absorbed the ridicule, her movements restrained and focused. She remembered her father's voice, "Control the storm, don't become it." Her stance was small, her breathing measured. To the untrained eye, she looked scared. To anyone who knew boxing, she looked like a coiled spring. Marcus began his show. He taunted her with mock punches, pushed her shoulder, and even gestured to the crowd, laughing as he told them he could end the match with one hand. The laughter echoed through the gym like thunder, feeding his pride. Then, he made it worse. He pulled a stunt that crossed every line. He told her to kneel. The audience gasped, some cheering, others horrified. The cruelty of it all froze time. Amina's eyes lifted, not in defiance, but in clarity. She saw through him now, saw what fear disguised as arrogance looked like. The referee hesitated, unsure if this was still a sanctioned fight or a spectacle of shame. Marcus threw a lazy punch, expecting her to flinch. She didn't. Her counter came sharp and fast, a blur of precision honed from years of quiet training in dimly lit gyms. The impact wasn't just physical, it was symbolic. The sound of her glove connecting with his jaw cracked through the room, silencing every laugh. Marcus stumbled back, shocked, his smirk wiped clean. The cameras caught every second. The crowd, once roaring with mockery, fell into stunned silence. Something had shifted, but the fight wasn't over. Marcus's pride couldn't accept what just happened. His punches grew wild, fueled by fury, not form. Amina dodged, moved, and struck again. Each hit. Sweat dripped from Marcus's brow as he lunged forward again, his fury turning him reckless. The arrogance that once powered his confidence was now eating him alive. Each missed punch chipped away at his control, exposing the truth he'd spent years hiding, that without intimidation, he was just another man afraid of losing. Amina stayed calm, weaving through his attacks like water flowing around stone. The crowd could sense it now, the shift in energy, the quiet dominance radiating from the girl he tried to embarrass. Her movements were poetry in motion, each strike a blend of precision, timing, and something deeper, generations of resilience carried in her fists. Marcus roared, throwing a desperate right hook that was supposed to end it. But Amina ducked, stepped in close, and unleashed a combination so fast the cameras struggled to capture it. 1, 2, 3. Each hit landed with perfect intent. His knees buckled. His arms dropped. The unshakable Titan stumbled backward, collapsing against the ropes. The referee hesitated before stepping in, disbelief freezing him for a moment. The arena was silent, breathless. Marcus's ego shattered before the world's eyes. The man who mocked her heritage, her neighborhood, her worth, now knelt in defeat before her. Cameras zoomed in, capturing the contrast, his broken pride against her calm strength. She didn't gloat, didn't raise her arms. She simply stepped back, breathing slow, eyes steady. The victory wasn't about glory, it was about dignity. For a few seconds, no one spoke. Then a single clap echoed. Then another. The same crowd that laughed at her began to rise, their applause swelling into thunder. Marcus looked up, dazed, realizing that the humiliation he planned for her had become his own undoing. In that ring, the story flipped. It wasn't a fight anymore, it was a reckoning. As the echo of applause faded, the reality of what had just happened began to sink in. Marcus sat slumped in the corner, his once unshakable arrogance stripped away, replaced by something he had never shown before, humility. Cameras continued to roll, broadcasting the moment to millions. Across the world, people watched the clip, replayed it, and shared it. What began as an act of cruelty became a symbol of strength. Amina didn't linger for praise. She simply removed her gloves, bowed slightly to the audience, and walked away. Reporters rushed forward, but she said nothing. Her silence spoke louder than any victory speech ever could. It was the silence of a girl who had turned pain into purpose, who had shown the world that respect can't be demanded through power. It must be earned through character. Within days, headlines flooded the internet. Underdog girl humiliates champion. Boxer's arrogance exposed on live TV, and Amina's fight sparked global conversation on racism in sports. Sponsors dropped Marcus, fans abandoned him, and interviews with Amina went viral. She spoke softly, never once attacking him, only highlighting the importance of equality, discipline, and respect. Years later, that single fight became a case study in sportsmanship and social change. Amina went on to train underprivileged kids, turning her story into a movement. Marcus, now retired, began visiting those same gyms, trying to rebuild what arrogance had destroyed. He often told people that his greatest defeat wasn't losing a match, it was realizing how blind pride had made him.